Hey guys, hello and welcome to video number 4 of this YouTube channel. My name is Vincent and I'm currently trying to break the record of most films seen in a cinema in 1 year. Today marks day 42 and I've seen 88 films this far. This week I saw 13 films, among which a film called Slava, with its English title being Glory, directed by Kristina, Grozeva and Petar, Valchanov, which is a film I'm going to talk about in just a minute. First, I want to mention two fails that happened to me. The first one being that usually I want to watch films in the original version if they are available. You know, original version, whatever language it may be, with French subtitles. It's just something I prefer. And I wanted to watch a film called A Dog's Purpose, which is an American film. And I went into the screening, and that's when I realized that it was in French dubs, because I hadn't paid attention. And this is actually the second time it happens to me, and this cannot happen again. God damn it. Anyway, the second thing, which is much worse, is I wanted to see a film called Indiscreet by Stanley Donen at the Christine 21 cinema. Christine 21 is a great cinema in Paris which screens old movies. They're currently screening films by Stanley Donen and Vittorio De Sica. And I wanted to see Indiscreet, so I was standing in line, and this woman in front of me pointed at a still that was hanging next to the register of the film Indiscreet, and I looked at it, and there was some sort of deja vu. It was Cary Grant dancing, and I looked at it and I thought, I know this image. And I checked my paper logbook, which is here, which encompasses all the films that I've seen, and there it was, film number 37 or 36, I don't remember. Indiscreet, already seen. Stupid. So I ended up watching 4 movies instead of 5 that day. I was lucky because it was the last movie of the day, so instead of having 2 hours to do nothing, I was able to just go home early. Anyway, this can't happen. I need to pay attention. Glory, directed by Kristina Grozeva and Petar, Valchanov, a Bulgarian film that I hadn't heard anything about, and I was surprised that it was playing at a Gaumont cinema. Very good. It tells the story of a 50-year-old railway worker whose job it is to just walk down the railway and make sure that the bolts are tightened. And he lives far from the city by himself. He has a beard like this. I mean, he's not a city person. And so one day he walks down the railway and he finds a lot of money, like a fortune of bills just lying on the railway, and instead of taking it for himself, he decides to give it back to the government. The government is currently having a little crisis of corruption charges, and so this gesture just comes on the perfect timing, and the PR people decide to use this opportunity to distract the population from this corruption charges. And so they organize a ceremony where they invite the railway worker to be celebrated for his selfless act. And the Minister of Transport is going to be there, and he's going to get a watch. Now, before the ceremony starts, the PR person, which is a woman, takes his watch that he had, his old watch, which was his father's, and promising that she's going to give it back at the end of the ceremony. And after the ceremony, of course, he doesn't get it back, and he never hears about her again. So the film is about him trying to get back his freaking watch from the government. The reason why I like this film is that it touches on a very sensitive matter, which is government corruption, but with a lot of humor, and not this dumb joking humor. It is a situational humor where the reason why it's funny is because you have this confrontation between this man who lives by himself outside of any town, who's barely ever been to town, who lives with his little rabbits, and this PR person, which is a woman that, PR person, sure of herself, always on the go, bossing her employees around. And that's just, this confrontation is very funny and very touching, because even though it is funny, it's very serious because of the corruption charges, and because of how far it shows you how far the government and just people who are corrupt are willing to go to protect themselves and to destroy any person, any people that might stand in their way. So it was very good in that regard. And also, it didn't go into any cliches, because even though those are two very distinct personalities of the railway worker and the PR person, you have side characters and personal dreams and how do you call this, subjects that they're just the persons had personalities and family issues, for instance, and dreams about going beyond these corruption charges, beyond the government, beyond this ceremony, beyond all of this, beyond of the story. And so it gave this film a lot of depth. So this is a movie I would highly recommend to watch when it's available online or at the cinema if you have it nearby. Anyway, that's it for today, and next time I'll watch about a movie that you might be more inclined to hear about, which is Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyway, have a nice evening or a nice day wherever you are. Salut!